CWC in a rain-soaked Canada. I am Odems, as usual, here on another Tuesday night. We have a few changes to the roster I'm going to get out of the way real quick. We have Dark Ninja 94, I think that is, who will be in the, I think, Red Bull, and Werespud, who will be in the McLaren. So welcome to them. And without further ado, we're going to have our first car out on track. Dark Ninja, Toro Rosso, sorry, not the Red Bull. The conditions are looking very treacherous, I have to say. I would not like to be in these conditions, but we're going to watch these drivers brave it out. As you can see, every turn of the wheel just unsettles the car so much. You have to be so precise and calculated in these conditions. Whether it's going to be like this in the race, I do not know. Maybe one of the drivers will fill us in. But first I'm going to put the stream link into the chat. And while we'll do that, we'll ride on board with the new board, Dark Ninja. Hardest to navigate this track without crashing into the walls. Ooh. Bit out of shape there for Dark Ninja, but he's managed to keep it intact. Coming into turn 7, this corner is very difficult in the dry. You have to sort of clip that right curb and let it take you onto that left curb, and you just have to keep your wheel has to be just so exact and precise on that orange little curb there. Treacherous in the wet, treacherous in the dry. So Dark Ninja's managed to navigate that well. Got a bit too much curb there, but run down to the final corner where you can take a breath, have a breather, because you're going to need it for this last corner. It's so hard to get. It's perfect. Either you can invalidate, you can crash into the wall of champions. There's so much things you can do around this corner. He's taken it very nicely. Got a bit wide, but I don't think that will invalidate. And he's going to come across the line to set the first lap of the session. No, he didn't validate. He didn't validate. So no lap set so far. Next across the line will be his teammate. And RG does put it up. Get a time. That's a 1:21.3. 21.9, sorry. Ultra Split is stopped on the apex there, not the apex, on the exit there to let a car get out of the way. Right over with Zach as he comes across the line. I think he's starting a lap, so this will not be a representative time. His teammate Booj. Only one driver yet to set a lap so far. I think that just sort of shows that these conditions are very tricky to keep it in the white lines. As there goes Maddie at 1:27. That's about 6 seconds off of Vargi. If you are noticing a few less drivers similar to last week, that's because there has been a split in the roster. As Dark Ninja puts it up into first place and Assassin goes into third, there's been a split in the roster that's seen a few drivers go down to a newly created F2 division, which was streamed yesterday on Monday on Booj's channel, so check that out if you can. Speaking of Booj, he rounds the final corner now. He looked to have taken that pretty nicely. And that's second place, 1:19.9. Well, 1:18.6 for Dark Ninja, that's very quick. Looks like he was just getting up to speed and he's done those opening laps, and pole position it is for him. Zarki lets RG go. West slots into third. Archie crosses the line. I think might have been starting a lap, or maybe invalidate. I don't know. So let me get this up. And Zach finally gets his lap in, a second clear, almost a second clear of Dark Ninja, the 1:17.8. Zach had a quite devastating race in Monaco. He was leading by quite a lot until he got caught up with the lap car of GS Biggie, who's now in F2. So hopefully he'll be looking to bounce back. He certainly has the pace, and it's helping him that Jarno is not racing, which will be a huge delight for Zach. Well, I say a huge delight. Maybe he would have liked the competition. I know I would have. Here comes West. Look like he's 5/10 up on his lap as he heads into the final corner right now. Ooh, out of shape there, but he managed to catch it. And West slots up into third place at 1:19.3. So yesterday lap, Jorrit, who that's Matty. Jorrit, who's starting a lap now. I think RG, who's coming across the line to set at 1:23. That's also validated. Chris starting his lap, so he's going to hope RG gets out of the way. Worsfoot in the pits, Class in the pits, and Rustlin in the pits. So those drivers have to set a lap. We're on one with Jorrit, who's about to set a lap. Oh, that might have been a cut. Go quickly check. No, I think he's good. On the edge there was Jorrit. Oh, he's out of fuel. Well, that's gonna hamper his lap, to say the least. Argy did let Chris go indeed, so Chris will be the next across the line, I imagine. That may have been a cut. I don't think so. He's running seemingly quite low on ERS, so might have abandoned this lap. I don't know. Sorry for the incessant flicking. Here comes Chris into the final corner. Nice and tentative, very tentative. Still not using that much ERS though. He puts them into 5th place regardless. Maybe he wants to set a few installation laps, get his tires warmed up, and then get full ERS and pop a lap down. Here comes RG to start a lap. Jordan in the pits. I'm bored with Rustlin now, in last place in his Haas car. Noticing he brakes very early for these corners, so he does not want to lock up a brake or head into the deep. He's taking it nice and cautious as he heads into the final corner, a corner which actually braking early is not a bad idea at all. He locks up a bit, but he manages to take it nice and clean. And it's going to be a 19.7 for Russ. Good lap from him. Booze, I believe, is on a lap, and it looks like he's quite a bit up on that lap. So yeah, he is. So into the final corner. Had to take 2 bites at that one to not invalidate. He's done it well enough. And Booch puts number to 3rd, 19.1. Good lap from him as he loses the car in sheer excitement, I imagine. Here comes I'm West. As Dark Ninja is out of the session, I think that might have been a retirement on purpose, or maybe he's crashed out. I think he might have crashed out. Not too sure. There's yellow flags. Yeah, he has crashed out. No, that's RG who's crashed out, who's not actually out. So RG just had an incident on his own. I don't know what's going on, so I'm just gonna go follow on board with Worstwood, who's finally got a lap down. He's in 7th place. Actually, I think he was about to start a lap. In fact, he's heading into the pits. Here comes Assassin. As RG's car again just parked completely. I think he's wanting to get out of the way of people and he's taking it a bit extreme. Here comes Chris to set another lap. Nice little drift through the last corner and he comes across the line. It's a 1:19.9. It's an improvement, but it's invalid, so you have to try and go again. In the wet, your ERS goes down a lot slower, so he'll be able to set another few laps without worrying about losing ERS. As Zach stays in the pit, so he's pretty comfortable with his time. The track does not seem to be drying up, so conditions are staying the same as we had when the session started. Chris coming to a lap, as is Assassin. Ooh, very cautious. I think he may have taken a bit too much curb there. Assassin going to cross the line with a 1:21.7, and yes, it was invalid. So we on to Chris, who goes third with a 1:19 dead. George's actually taking 4th place. I missed that. Knocking Bouge all the way down into 5th. We're on board with George as he crosses the line, and then we'll go on to Matty because I think he definitely needs an improvement. Class still yet to, George comes in the pits. Class still yet to set a lap. We saw this in Monaco. He just was unable to get a lap in. I think he might have it in Spain as well. So not the best qualifier as Class, you have to say. He was very unfortunate in Monaco in his defense. As Matty enters the pits as well, so not able to get a lap down either. Worstwood, I think, is about to start a lap. Yes, he is. Oh, he taps the wall there. That might have gotten this and next lap invalidated. I hope not, for his sake. He's staying in hot lap, so I think he's good to go. We'll check back with him. Assassin, I think he's going to enter the pits. Yes, he is. Run with the Class. Oh, into the wall goes Class. That's not going to help his chances. Front wing damage. He's going to have to get a new one. Head into the pits. As Russ is about to start a flying lap now. Slow mo with Worstwood. Loses the back end, but just about catches it. Nice line to the hairpin. I saw a lot of drivers take that tight, but he's seemingly taking that very nicely. Set himself up very nice for the long straight into the final corner. Here comes Spud. May have been a bit too much curb, I don't think so. It's 1:19.2, so he'll take 6th place. Very close up from 3rd place to 7th, really. Very close, all of them. Ruslan on a lap, RG on a lap. We'll run up with Russ. Let's see if he's up or down on his sector times. Looks like he's up. I mean down, rather. Yeah, I think he was down. Well, love top to the wall there as he comes across the line to start his lap. Are getting out of the way of Matt, who's going to cross the line to start another lap. Zach finally out of the pits again. Jordan, I think, is just about up on his time by just under a 10th. He's going to hope Assassin gets out of the way so he can complete this lap. Assassin is on an out lap, so he should get out of the way. I guess he got out of the way, but I don't think it was really by design. I think that was just from him losing the back end. Anyhow, here comes Jorrit across the final corner. Needs to be absolutely nailed. Very nicely done from Jorrit. Comes across the line, it's an 18.6. Puts him into 4th. As Booge actually is beaten Dark Ninja's time, I missed that. So into 2nd place goes Booge from Dark Ninja, who's kept that position for quite a while. Chris's session is over, 19-0 for him. Zach has his teammate Booge, who he's going to want to get out of the way as quickly as possible, but I think Booge might be on a lap as well. Yeah, he is. Booge, will you let him go? You will let him go. Oh, no, looks like Zach's aborting a lap as well. I think that's it for Zach's qualifying. I don't think he's going to improve after that. Jorrit might still be on a lap, though. Is he on a lap? Matty does get up into 5th place. Good lap for Matty. Jorrit is on a lap, and he's just down on his lap. So he's going to need an almighty last corner, although he's taking that hairpin a lot better than he did last lap. Running with RG coming across the line first. Bit of a lockup, but not too bad. RG does not improve. Well, I think he did improve, but didn't get in position. Jorrit out of the last corner. Might have invalidated. We'll see. He does not invalidate. He takes 2nd off of Booge just. And we'll run over with Assassin, whose lap finished his lap. 21.3 for him. And that'll do it for qualifying. Just wait for official confirmation of the standings. It is Zach on pole position once again. A smaller margin than Monaco for sure. 5/10 to Jorit, and 5/10 to his teammate Bouge in third. Dark Ninja takes fourth place ahead of Matty in sixth place. Red Bull of Chris, or the Red Bulls occupying the third row. Good quality from them. Worsfoot on his debut takes seventh ahead of I'm West, who would have been hoping for a much better qualifying. Rustlin in 9th place ahead of RG. 11th is Argy. 11th is RG. That's going to get annoying. 12th is Assassin, and unable to set a lap for, I believe, the third week in a row is Class in the Haas. So I've been told that it's an all dry race, which honestly I would prefer. That opens the gap for a lot more overtaking and a lot less mistakes, which we like to see. We like to see drivers being able to push to their absolute max, not having to worry about crashing. Although I guess even in the dry around Canada, that's not a guarantee either. Let's wait to load them into the lobby. Hopefully we don't have any issues like we did in Spain, where we had to restart the lobby. Now I expect drivers like West and Dark Ninja to finish higher than where they started. Dark Ninja set his lap very early in the session. He still was able to get 5th place. And West had a very poor qualifying in Monaco, but showed very quick speed in the race. So I expect those two to definitely finish higher than where they're starting. If any incidents don't come into play as we start the formation lap, if you see anyone disqualified from the session, that is not from the race, that's just from the formation lap, for contact or for going slowly or for going backwards, whatever the reason it may be. In F1 2017, getting disqualified from the formation lap literally did not have any bearing on your race. In this game, however, you do not want to get disqualified from the formation lap. You want to heat up your tires. You want to be as quick off the start as possible, and if your tires are cool come the start, you're not going to get a good start regardless of what happens. So the driver's going to spend the formation lap actually using it, unlike last few games, to sort out their tires. Speaking of tires, let's check who's starting on what. That one stops, that one tires. So Zach on the Supras, I believe that, no, Ultras, sorry. Zach on the Ultras, Jordan on the Ultras, Booge on the Ultras, Dark Ninja on the Softs, on the Supers rather. Maddie on the Ultras, as is Worstbud, and Chris on the Ultras. Sorry, Chris is on the Ultra. I'm so bad at talking. Chris is on the Ultras, Worstbud is on the Super Softs, West is on the Ultras, and then everybody bar Class outside of after West starting on the Supers. So we'll expect them to make some gains late in the race. With pole sitter Zach, I believe that's his 3rd pole position of the season, I'm not too sure. Behind Jordan, who won last week's race after Zach suffered that misfortune in Monaco with the incident with Biggie, the lap car of Biggie, which must have stung even more. Bouge's teammate, Zach's teammate, has had an awful run of luck. We'll be hoping to put that run to an end. He seems quick around here, that's for sure. He's going to try and challenge Jordan early on, and took up behind his teammate Zach. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start on board with Dark Ninja on board. Hope he gets a decent enough start, and we're going to see how the front two head into the first corner, the front three rather. So 5 red lights. We wait some more, and then we're off. Joe's got an amazing start. He's going to look to pull alongside Zach, but on the second phase, Zach just about pulls away. Boosh is absolutely sure Dark Ninja does not get ahead of him. Dark Ninja makes absolutely sure that is not the case. They're going to be side by side into the turn 3. Looks all nice and tight at the back as well. No major position changes. Dark Ninja takes that position off of Boosh. Great showing from Dark Ninja. Manny ahead of Chris, Worstbud, and it looks like all nice and tidy at the back end of the field. Zach's pulled away from Jorit, who's pulled away from Dark Ninja, who's got ahead of Boosh. So great driver from Dark Ninja. And Boosh now has Manny all on the back of him. So we look at position changes. I don't think there was much position changes. Yeah, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people have really changed position, as the rest have just stayed where they are. Archie's got a very good start. Russ has got a terrible start, and Dark Ninja and Booge swapping positions. Looks all nice and tidy at the opening, at the front end of the field. No moves at the back of the field, as that's Russ into the pits. Not a good start from him at all, as Jorrit manages to actually keep, he's pretty close to Zach, I have to say. Fair play to Jorrit. As Boo's going to want to try and challenge Dark Ninja as much as possible, but Dark Ninja has streaked away on those supers, so fair play to him. West and his teammate RG, not sure if RG will make this difficult for him or not. West has a look, but that's not very much of an overtaking position, especially when you're not really alongside a car. But he's alongside now, around the outside of the hairpin. Will RG fight? No, RG will not fight. And West will take 8th place rather. Set sights on the debutant of Spud, as Maddie sets a sight on Booge. It's been a relatively alright start for Booge, considering his past few bouts of luck. So he's going to be happy that his front wing is intact. He's not going to be happy that Maddie's going to pull alongside him though. Down the inside goes Maddie. Maybe Booge's setup was a bit too qualifying oriented in the wet. I don't know. Regardless, Maddie goes around the outside in turn 2. Makes that move stick. He's going to get better drive. Yes, he is. But Booge manages to get much better acceleration, maybe using a bit more of his ERS. They make contact. Great racing from these two. That's allowing Chris to pull along behind and Darkin to pull away. Booge miraculously keeps that position ahead of Maddie. I don't know, maybe a bit too nice for Maddie. Maybe he could have fought Booge a bit harder. He's going to fight him hard here though. Down the inside, Booge surely has nothing to answer this time, and that is the case. Maddie takes P4 off of Booge, and now he's going to have Chris on the back of him. He's going to have Spud on the back of him, and then West also, as DRS is not enabled so far. Spud goes on the inside of Chris. Good move from Spud. Chris is going to keep his front wing there. Hopefully no desync issues. I say that, and we've had a desync issue. Spud is out of this race on his debut. That is a huge shame. I saw that coming from a mile away. I'm not sure if that was desync or maybe there was actual contact, but either way, West is going to climb himself up into P6 down the inside of Chris. He's had a terrible exit, and RG is now going to have a look as DRS is open. Me not paying attention as per usual. Will RG go down the inside? No, he'll back out of it, and Chris will keep P7. Hectic opening laps, and I feel for Spud. He was looking so good on his debut, but unfortunately he had an incident with Chris in the wall, and that's his wheel gone. As Maddie's already pulled a second to Booge, so great start for Maddie. Joy keeping Zach relatively honest. Almost a 2-second gap though for Zach. Now my TV is a bit messed up. I can't see the full screen, so if there's any penalties I'm not going to notice, and that's probably for the best. So we're not going to talk about penalties until the end of the race, and we'll just see whoever moves up and down. Little disclaimer there. Anyway, that was a nice bit of hectic action. The race has died down a tiny bit, which is good for me and my voice, because I don't want to keep on talking. That being said, we have a nice little DRS train of West, Chris and RG. We'll see how good Chris's straight line speed is as he slipstreams the Renault car ahead of him. Rather, let's see how good he can get out of the final corner. West had to shaft the corner, not to run wide there. Well, he did run wide. That's how he shafted the corner, and that's definitely a warning. But he's managed to pull away from Chris and pull onto the back of Booge from it. So a bit of a win-win if he doesn't collect too many more of those warnings. And that did not look the cleanest line from Booge either. So expect a lot of penalties to come racking up. As yeah, Maddie seemed to be very quick compared to what he was in qualifying. Fair play to him. He's up into 4th place. He hounded Booge, and he just streaked away from him now. Who knows, maybe Booge put a bit too much rear wing on that car for the qualifying, and it's maybe backfiring on the race. I don't know, but he's dropping positions, you have to say, and now he has West on the back of him. He's looking mightily fast. West has a nice toe. Will he look for it down the inside of the final corner? I would not recommend it. And he wisely backs out of it. Focus on the run instead. He's got a great run. Oh no! Oh, was that lag? It looked like lag. I don't think Booth actually did hit the wall there. It looks like his front wing's intact, but front wing is not intact for West. That's such a shame for him. It looked like it was going to be a prime overtake. I don't know what that was. Must have been some sort of lag, because it's a very weird incident. Maybe he didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. But now he has Chris on the back of him and his teammate RG on the back of him. I have to say, as Zach's pulled a good gap on Joe, here goes Chris on West. I mean, yeah, Chris on West. As Dark Ninja's in a very nice position in this race on those super softs. Now, how much will these guys battle? Will West defend hard? I think he will. Will he be able to defend hard? He's going to go defensive. Side by side to the final corner. This usually does not end well. But Chris makes the move stick. He's gone very wide though. He's tapped the wall and West takes the position. Matt fairway to West. And here comes RG. Will West defend from his teammate as well? It looks like he will not. As RG goes down the inside, Chris has gone very wide. And yes, RG up into 6th place. Great move from RG. It's not so good for Chris as he finds himself down in 8th place. Oh, that must be pretty bad for wing damage on West's car. You can just tell that his car is struggling badly. Going deep in the corners like that is not going to help. Neither is shafting them. I said I was not going to check penalties, but I do want to check how much West has. He has one, miraculously only has 1 warning, so don't know how that's managed to happen. He's absolutely shafted that left, that right, left, and somehow he's gotten away with it. So fair play. He's gonna look for a move on his teammate. Yes, he is. Down the inside, that's gonna let Chris. Ooh, there's contact. RG just about manages to keep it, and now Chris is gonna be on the back of him. So not ideal for RG in the slightest. We managed to keep the position ahead of Chris. Ooh, bit of a kiss to the wall there from RG. So as the rest of the field is relatively stagnant, this is the closest battle we have on track. As Rustin chases down his teammate, has Klaus had a pit stop? No, he is not. Rustin is the only driver with a pit stop, so RG's straight line speed not the best there. Maybe he was running low on he was running a low earth setting. It looks like he is. Will he try and move on West? No, he will not. He'll keep it there. RG was catching this trio, but he's dropped off a bit. As Dark Ninja puts the pressure on Joy. RG going very deep there to avoid his teammate. Oh, he's out of spin. Oh, and he's in the wall. That was RG. That's a shame. That's a massive shame for him. He's hit the wall again after his tires just spun up. He's got to make 2 extra stops as well because he can't put onto the supers. So awful for RG. That's his race severely compromised. And now it's in the back of West once again as these two resume hostilities. Bush has dropped off the back of Matty by a lot. It's 5.5 seconds almost. Quite a lot of time lost there as RG pits and it ends up in last place. You have to make 2 extra stops. Definitely not a good night for him. Oh, deep from Chris. A lot of drivers just going a bit too deep, but that compromises the entirety of the corner for them. Chris needs to keep his head calm, keep his head down, and chase down West because he should be quicker than West with West front wing damage. Just needs to keep it cool and collected. Less mistakes like that. Behind West the entire time. Ten laps gone. We should be seeing some ultra soft runners be pitting soon. Oh, into the wall goes Chris. Well, that was the last bit of action I was hoping we would have. Almost his entire front wing is gone, so that's definitely a pit stop for him. Starting to chase the stricken car of Jordan. All those drivers, Chris, West, and RG, had a massive incident, just completely compromising their races. And West obviously is still managed to fear the best off of all of that, and he's probably going to keep his 7th place, or 6th place rather. You can see Dark Ninja just closing into the back of Jorit. I imagine we'll be pitting soon enough for those super softs. No mistakes for Dark Ninja though. He's taking this track nice and smoothly as he latches onto the back of Jorit. West pits from 6th place from wing change as well, I imagine. He's onto the ultra stop, so that's going to be a 2-stop for him. Bit late pit stop for a 2-stop, has to be said, but he's going to do it regardless. Ruslan and his teammate Class. Looks like that was a pretty straightforward move. Class may have just let him go, knowing who the quicker teammate was. As Maddie is close up to Dark Ninja by a decent amount, to be fair to him. Gap is 2 seconds now. Chris has made a stop on the back of Ruslan, who's not, well, he has made a stop, but on those very old ultras, he had to do that. Rus goes defensive. I noticed Chris is actually ultra soft as well, so. Here comes Chris. Down the inside. Archie cannot fight him too hard. And Chris up into 8th place on that 2-stop. Oh yeah, Chris had that crash, didn't he? Of course, that's why he's 2-stopping. He was already on the super stuff, so he has to go into those ultras. Here comes Dark Ninja on Jorrit. Jorrit will probably be pitting this lap, but Zach has. Ooh, Jorrit lost his front wing. Will his pit crew change it? That's what I want to know. Yes, they will. Thankfully for him. That was poor from Jorrit. Should have slowed down. He should be a lot more cautious going into that final corner, having to slow down. As Zach exits the pits, 4 seconds. Just under 4 seconds ahead behind Dark Ninja. As Maddie also pits. Maddie jumps Jorrit. Wow. It's calamity for Jorrit. He's lost 2 positions pretty much. Space of a lap and front wing change. Here comes RG. Will he get past Bougie? Will. So that's a bit of traffic that Bougie gonna have to negotiate. Bouge dispatching of RG relatively quickly as Ruslan on the back of Assassin. Right on the back of him he is, as Zach is chases onto the back of Dark Ninja. Ooh, a bit of a late one from Russ, but he's made the move stick. Undercut, switchback rather from Assassin, but I think he's broken his front wing out from doing that. He might have broken Russ's as well. We're really not going to plan for the Haas driver. Assassin is... Wow, okay. That was quite an interesting move. And RG is coming out of nowhere. He's going to get them both. Sometimes into turn 1. RG forces him wide and RG makes the move stick. Wow. It's a crazy move from Assassin. I don't know how you're going to dive bomb into the last corner, but he's managed it. He tried it. And Dark Ninja overtaken by Zach. I doubt he put up too much of a fight to Dark Ninja. Rustin's gonna try his best to try and keep RG honest. Oh, he's not gonna have to try too hard though, if that's what I think it is. He's disconnected, hasn't he? Heartbreaking for RG. He looked like he was on for some really good points, but the disconnection, and he's out. West on the back of Argy. Is the piss for a second stop, comes Russ. I do wonder when Dark Ninja's gonna come off of those super soft tires. The answer is right now. I think you just about thought that was slowed down. Yeah, Matty gets him, as is Jordan. Dark's probably wondering where on earth Matty's come from. Haven't seen Matty all race. No, actually, he's beaten Jordan out of the pits. So it's only Matty who has left. 3-second gap, I believe he can do that. But he's hitting the wall like that, though. Wow, we'll run up over Dark Ninja because he's already 1.8 behind Matty. It's quite the outlap from him. Dark Ninja's halt has slowed down a little bit. Maybe saving his tires or reserves. Matty is in Dark Ninja's sights. He's just clawed onto the back of him with Dark Ninja. He's got him. Up into second place goes Dark Ninja, and he's going to try to streak away. Matty not having much to fight for on that one. Amazing speed from Dark Ninja though, has to be said. He's rapid on those tires. Assassin now coming onto the back of RG. Very unfortunate for the Renault driver to have disconnected like that. Oh, look at this. West is actually hunting down Boosh. Looks like he might actually catch him before the end of the race. So keep an eye on that one. West ever so quickly catching Booch. Even with that front wing change, West showing some very good pace. Booch also seemingly getting held up there by a lapped car. No, it's not, it's just RG. Chris in the pits once again. He's gonna come out in sixth. He's actually opted for the super softs. Argy's actually, I know Argy is pretty close to him, but not to be. Sorry, I was not paying attention. Dark Ninja's out of this race. I was wondering why the positions were a bit lower. Oh my goodness. What has happened there? I'm so sorry for missing that. But Dark Ninja is out. And I think it was unforced as well because no one was anywhere near him. It was looking to be such a good debut for the Toro Rosso driver, but he's gone. Wow. It just shows you have to have your concentration up at all times. And so do I, because I completely missed that. Goodness. And Wes is into the pits. Wes was 2-stopping, wasn't he? Yeah. So it's going to take a minor miracle for him to catch Vuj down again. Especially on hypers, which will just blow up after a few laps, but he'll give it a good go, I imagine. And that's probably him for fastest half of the race, so... We're running forward with West as he comes across the line to start his lap, and which will probably be the fastest lap of the race. But yeah, Dark Ninja, I'm asking him now what happened, because it was looking like a solid second place for him. All of a sudden he's out. In the World Champions is where it happened, so big rip. to his credit, West has closed down that gap to Boosh pretty enormously. Oh goodness. That was scary. You have to say, if West didn't have that front wing damage, he probably would have gotten 5th place, or 4th place rather, off of Boosh. Because that gap's gone down to 5 seconds already. Excuse me. I think West tires are blowing up. That gap's gone back up. Ruslan is catching RG, however, but the race is over. Sorry, was not paying attention once again. Zach has won this race. Fair bit of Zach. Ruslan caught RG and he got him on penalties as well, so Money takes second. Money might have a lot of penalties actually. Let's see if Jorrit gets him. Jorrit almost gets him. 5 seconds is what he gained in penalties to Jorrit. Rouge will come home and take 4th place. Off of West in 5th. Did West get Boosh? I don't think he did he? He did, wow! Boosh had a lot of penalties and West has got him. Crazy. So, there's your podium. Zach with a 45-second win in the end. Ahead of Matty, who showed tremendous pace. I think he started in 5th place and he just ended up in 2nd, so fair play to him. And Jorah in 3rd, who started off well, but his pace sort of faded at the end of the race when the tires got worn. I think he made a little bit of a mistake as well, because he was 3 seconds behind Matty at one point, but then it turned into 5 seconds, so. Alright, here's your official results. I already mentioned our podium. I'm West. I don't think he actually did get the fastest out of the race. No, he didn't. Just got pipped by Zach. He takes 4th anyway. Booge with 15 seconds worth of penalties ends up in 5th. Chris takes 6th ahead of Russ in 7th. Argy takes 8th. Assassin in 9th. And Class rounds the points positions with 10th place. Argy off the field for him. He disconnected while he was in, I believe, 6th. And Dark Ninja, who was going to take 2nd place before his... Well, I say he's going to take... Well, yeah, he probably was going to take 2nd place because he had 12 seconds worth of penalties, which is actually lower than Matty's 14. Unfortunately, he crashed in the wall of champions. So that's been it for CWC. Exciting race at times. A lot of nothing happened, if I'm honest. But yeah, I don't think we'll be here next week as Christmas is happening. But yeah, thanks for watching and good night.